Good morning, my dear students. Welcome back. So, we are going to continue with the same chapter, that is chapter 2, and this is the part 3 video where today we are going to discuss about India's foreign policy in detail. Okay, now in the previous videos, we have already learned about the meaning of foreign policy, what exactly is foreign policy, then why is it important, and then we have seen what are the factors which are influencing the foreign policy. In that we saw the geographical locations, and then the political system, economy, national leadership, and the administrative factors. Today we are going to see what is India's foreign policy, and we'll be studying India's foreign policy in detail. Okay, so let's start. After taking this preliminary information about foreign policy, we shall now get to know more about India's foreign policy. India got independence in 1947, and from then onwards, we started shaping our foreign policy independently. Now, children, after we got independence in the year 1947, we had a lot of things to do, and one of them was framing the foreign policy. And so, we started shaping the foreign policy. The directive principles of state policy have laid down guidelines about how to shape foreign policy. Now, what is this directive principles of state policy? The directive principles of state policy of India are the guidelines of 15 principles given to the federal institutes governing the state of India to be kept in while framing laws and policies. These provisions contained in Part 4, that is Article 36 to 51 of the Constitution of India, are not enforceable by any court, but the principle laid down there is considered in the governance of the country, making it the duty of the state to apply these principles in making law to establish a just society in the country. The principles have been inspired by the directive principles given in the Constitution of Ireland, which are related to social justice, economic welfare, foreign policy, and legal and administrative matters. So, in short, we understand that it is um, the framework or the framing of laws and policy, how it is to be done, is given in this directive principles of state policy. Now, on the screen, children, you can see classification of directive principles of state policy. Directive principles, now three parts: one is socialist principle, Gandhian principle, and liberal principles. And then there are these articles which are kept made in keeping all these things in mind. Okay, now article 51 among the directive principles of state policy lay down the broad framework for foreign policy. Can you see the article 51? What is the article 51? See the end, last one: promotion of international peace and security. Okay, so according to it, India should give priority to safeguard international peace and security and resolve our international problems and disputes by peaceful means. Okay, so here this article 51 among the directive principles of state policy is the main focus of it is to resolve our international problems or whatever disputes we have with other neighboring countries or anywhere in the world should be solved through peaceful means. That means no use of weapons, war, etc. should not happen. They can mutually sit, talk, have a word, and try to solve the problem by peaceful means. Now, the objective of our foreign policy should be to maintain friendly relations with other nations and respect international law. Now, the other objective of our foreign policy is to maintain good relation or friendly relation with other nations, with all the nations of the world, and also to respect the international law and to work within the framework of the international law of the world. India's foreign policy till now has been developed in this framework. So we understand that all these things are inclusive in India's foreign policy. So now we understood that the Article 51 focuses on peace, solving all the disputes or problems with international on an international level with mutual understanding, peaceful means, and also respecting the international law. Now, children, next is Article 51 of the Constitution, of the Indian Constitution. Now, see, the first point is to promote international peace and security. So, what exactly is Article 51? Just see. Then, next point you can see maintain just and honorable relations between nations. So, to maintain good relations with the other countries also. Foster respect for international law and treaty obligations in the dealings of organized people with one another. See, again, respect for international law. So you should work under the framework of international law and to deal or in the dealing of organized people with one another. See, in the international market, when you are dealing with other people, you should keep in mind the international law. Then lastly, encourage settlement of international disputes by arbitration. What is arbitration, children? Okay, and body to an appointed body to settle disputes between the nations in the international on the international level. Okay. Next, some more objectives of Indian foreign policy are as follows. First one is, while maintaining friendly relations with neighboring countries, ensure that the defense and security of India is not affected, not to compromise about the geographical boundaries of the nation. Now, see, children, in the picture you can see we are surrounded, India is surrounded by many neighboring countries or with the nations. So, here, firstly, or the very important point which is there, the objective of India's foreign policy is to maintain its security. Okay, so while maintaining friendly relations with neighboring countries, we should ensure that the defense and security of India is not affected and we are not going to compromise about the geographical boundaries of the nation. Now, see, children, very recently you must have seen in the news so many news were coming about China speaking about the international boundaries. Then even Nepal started speaking something. So all these things keep on happening, but it is our duty to maintain our foreign policy and to see that the geographical boundaries of the nations are not uh, affected because of this. Okay. So the first point or the first objective of India's foreign policy is to maintain friendly relations with neighboring countries, but with that you have to ensure that the security of India and the defense of India is not at all affected. Okay. Next, second one or the second objective of India's foreign policy is to protect the unity and integrity of the country. Now, children, integrity means, what is integrity? To be united. Now, as we know, India is vast in culture, diversity, etc. So there are so many differences, but still we stand united. So hence, it's our duty to protect the unity and integrity of the country, and hence the foreign policy also has to take care that the unity and integrity of the nation is not affected. So they have to protect the unity as well as the integrity of the country. Next, children, is next objective of India's foreign policy: protect the interest of India's citizens living in other countries. This responsibility is fulfilled by the Indian embassies there. Now, see, our brothers and sisters, many of our Indians, those who are outside the country, those who are in the other parts of the world for various reasons like job, education, etc. So now it's the duty of us, the Indian embassies or the Indian government, to take care of them. Suppose if they are there in some other country and some something happens where they are not able to get relief, so there these Indian embassies come to their help. Okay, they can approach the Indian embassies, and then these embassies try to solve their problems. In many movies and all, you must have seen, in other countries there is some problem faced by an Indian, then they approach the embassies and then they ask for help, and these embassies are India's government, people working for India. They help these people out of their problem. Okay, then next is the economic and commercial relation. To establish economic and commercial relations with other countries for achieving economic development of India. Now, another objective of the foreign policy is to establish economic and commercial relations with other countries for achieving economic development. Now, children, trade, all these things are so important when we are in the international market. So, to improve our economy and our commercial relations, see, when your commercial relations are, um you can say, if they are in good terms with the other countries, then automatically you will see that there is an economic development of the country. Hence we need to establish economic and commercial relations with other countries in order to achieve economic development. Now, children, I thought we would complete the lesson today, but it's not possible as the next uh, topic is a review of India's foreign policy, and that too it is divided into two stages, first stage and the second stage, which is a long topic which will take one more video, I think. So, we'll continue this in the next video. For now, we'll stop here. Now, a few instructions for you all children. Just pay attention. I know your class teacher has informed you all about the trial test. So, children, next week we'll be having the trial test, and I'll be letting you all know the portion or what lesson we are going to take for the trial test. I will be messaging you all in the group, so no need to worry. I will give you all proper date. I think on the next Wednesday we'll be having the test, but still wait, I will confirm the date and tell you all. Please don't ask anything about the trial test in DCS because nothing is yet decided. I will let you all know in message with full detail. Okay? For now, we'll stop here, go through the video, and in case you have any doubt regarding the video or the lesson, you can join the DCS session. Thank you. Have a nice day.